I am doing better than Suge Knight, who for the third time has been hospitalized in the past month, and he still maintains he is not receiving adequate care. How's he holding up?
Yeah, he's not holding up great. Obviously, as you mentioned in the opening, he's been hospitalized for a third time, and he's suffering from blindness. So this is completely different than the chest pains and blood clots and other complications from being shot that he's experienced before. But now he's still pushing for the court to allow him to see his own personal physician.
Because he says, they asked him if he can see, he's like, barely.
Yeah, barely. Supposedly, he's completely blind in one eye and only has 15% vision in the second eye, which is that's pretty serious blindness. So he definitely needs to see someone that can help him.
Man, do you think he's grasping at straws here, or do you think this is a legitimate medical issue?
You know, you never know, because he has had somewhat of a sordid medical history. And you know, he ultimately was shot a couple months ago last summer. So he's definitely had some medical issues. But I think it's really him trying to press the court to allow him to see his own personal physician. We all know that the judge he was currently before had denied that request on numerous occasions. But now he's going before a new judge. So that judge might have some leniency.
You are an attorney, sir. I'm thinking now with my pretend to be a lawyer hat, when you put your real lawyer hat on, is he beginning to trot out a blindness defense to explain why he hit somebody with a car?
No, that would be a far-fetched defense, because if you listen to the 911 tape that one of the witnesses on the scene gave when she called 911, she was pretty adamant and pretty clear that they were having a verbal altercation, that these three men were outside arguing, and then Suge Knight got into his F-150 pickup truck, backed up, and clearly ran over these two men. So a blindness defense would be pretty far-fetched, but obviously anything is possible.
And I guess if you're driving a car blind, that's a whole other kind of reckless endangerment. That
a whole other kind of issue, and that might even be implicating himself for other types of criminal proceedings to potentially be brought against him too.
But I'd rather have a reckless endangerment charge, from driving blind, you know what I mean, than actually like murder one, murder two, But anyway, Knight also revealed Monday that he had fired his legal counsel, making it the second set of lawyers he's fired since his arrest. I see this a lot, where people fire their lawyers when they're going through this stuff. Help me understand the thought process of somebody who's doing this.
Well, first of all, I never think it's a good practice to fire multiple attorneys. First, it takes a long time for an attorney to catch up to speed on a certain case. I mean, cases are very complex, so it takes some time. And then second,
by the way, expensive. I just want to remind the audience that he's a lawyer, and he's saying it's not good to fire your lawyer. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, well, I think I never want to get fired, but just from a pure individual standpoint, you don't want to pay multiple attorneys to learn the same information. However, on the flip side here for Mr. Knight, he is facing very serious criminal charges that could lead up to life imprisonment. So he wants to make sure he has a good criminal defense team that really understands his case and really understands his position.
Yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. Now, if he does keep dropping lawyers, is he the kind of defendant that people want to represent? Like, are lawyers going to be jumping at the opportunity to represent him?
Well, it really depends. It's a very high-profile case. So if you want to get your name out there as a defense attorney, yes, I think it's a great case to get involved in. But in terms of the track record for Mr. Knight, he obviously is not very pleased with his counsel. So you have a high probability, if you jump on as his new attorney, that you might get let go.
That absolutely makes sense. I mean, I don't know. Representing Suge Knight, though, seems like a dangerous proposition. Like, I'd be afraid to lose.
Right. So maybe these lawyers actually lucked out that he fired them as opposed to losing the case.
Yeah, I don't want to be dangling from a balcony or something, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't get him off for murdering two people if he did that, which I'm not saying he did. It's alleged.
Yeah,
and Suge,
alleged.
I want to say for the record, Suge Knight,
Marc.
That's right. And for the record, Suge, I believe you, I trust you, I love you, I don't want no problems, sir.